Hey YouTube, this is Brad, aka Unique FLH. Let's talk about Harleys. Today, just doing a short video on some recent updates that I've done to my 99 Road King, which kind of seems to be a never-ending project. There's a bike check video out there on it that covers a lot of the other stuff that I've done. You can check that out if you like. So the most recent project here started off as just a rear brake caliper upgrade. Now the original 99 caliper was a single piston, kind of bulky, crazy, so I had already updated that to the newer style, but I wanted to go even newer than that and go with the Harley Brembo. I sourced a rear caliper and the mounting bracket for the axle from eBay. This is a project that I had already done on a 2004 Harley touring bike, so I kind of knew what to expect. I ended up getting a rebuild kit for the caliper, ended up also having it powder coated, doing the rebuild, and getting all chrome hardware. Since the Brembo caliper bracket is intended for a 25mm rear axle, I had to get a spacer to make it fit right, to go from 3/4 inch to 25mm. I also had to get the appropriate axle spacer and a bushing for it too. Both of those were filed down to the appropriate width, so everything fit right. Once all the spacers were done and all the right widths, everything went together fairly easily and ended up looking pretty good. Oh, and I also upgraded from the 11.5 to 11.8 inch rotor, which is necessary for the new caliper. Bought a standard rotor and polished it myself. While this started off as just an effort to upgrade the caliper, also ended up being a rear tire install. Then, while everything was apart, I happened across some weird website that told me that some sort of standard for compressed air lines is blue. So I removed all of the black airlines that I had and everything that's under compression between the air compressor, the air storage tank, and all of those sides of the air ride system are now blue. Yeah, so that was another thing that happened. Another thing that I did while this was all torn apart is I designed some brackets in Adobe Illustrator. I sent that design off to Send Cut Send, which I learned about from Mike on Stansworks YouTube channel. These brackets are for the rear grab bar license plate mount on the early touring models. If you remove that bracket to clean up the rear fender, any stuff that's available now is just a flat plate. I went ahead and designed some that had a bend and an extra tab put in it. That way I can fill in that gap that's left in the rear frame rails. That little bend allows me to put a crommet in. That's those little bullet looking things, and it fills in the holes that are left when you take the license plate bar out, and cleans up the whole look, makes it look a little bit more complete. This is something that I had already had, but wanted to try my own brackets as I cannot find any of the original ones that I had bought. And finally, I decided while everything was apart, I would go ahead and upgrade my audio. Under the seat from the battery, I went from 8-gauge wiring to 4-gauge, upgraded the fuse, and then at the bag side connector, I went from an SB50 Anderson connector to the SB120 series to accommodate the 4-gauge. I swapped my Rockford amp and Focal speakers for Cicada CXX 652s and CXX 57.2 speakers. 6.5s in the lower fairings, 5x7s in the bags. New amplifier is the Cicada FLX 700.4, and I also redid the amp board, rewrapped it in different leather, and redid most of the wiring inside the bag. Well, I think that's about it for everything that I've done recently to the Road King. If there's any questions, hit me up in the comments. Feel free to subscribe, like, whatever it is people do. And if you're interested in hearing about the Road King that I built for my brother-in-law, or hearing about the 2004 Ultra Classic that I'm currently turning into a project, let me know. Thanks for watching.